What's up, guys? I just got home. So it's been probably 25 minutes since I walked through the door, and there was regionals this weekend over in São Paulo, Brazil. And that makes four regionals in four different regions in four back-to-back-to-back-to-back weeks. And the results have been very different across the board. A lot of what we know, a lot of cool new flavors added. And the next big tournament that we're looking forward to is the European International Championships coming up in a little over 2 weeks, honestly. I mean, I leave in 2 weeks exactly today. I'll be gone. So I wanted to look at the top 8/top 32 list of decks a little bit and talk about them with you guys. I know I usually do a champion deck profile, and that's a lot quicker. But in the interest of time and the fact that I don't want to just put out content and regurgitate it, we're going to just do it. So I hope you guys enjoy the content, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate everyone who's been coming by recently, and you guys are new. You guys are amazing. Yeah, just that's it. So the tournament ended with Bruno winning with RCS Inteleon, RCS VSTAR Inteleon. A very cool looking deck. We'll look through the list in a second. Ricardo getting second with Mew VMAX. A very interesting Jolteon making it to third place of the event, which is something that I didn't see coming. So yeah, a very interesting result. Fabrizio finished with Mew VMAX in top 4, so two Mew VMAXs in top 4, but Mew did not win the event. We had two Galarian bird boxes to round out our 5th and 6th. 7th was a RCS Rapid Urshi with Crobat VMAX deck. So Urshi is in a very good position in the meta to deal with everything as long as you're not scared of Mew. If you are scared of Mew, you probably, the matchup is still probably bad, is the answer. And then we had RCS V-Star Whimsicott. Then we had Ian in 9th with Urshi, Moltres, Leafeon, Crobat. So a lot of stuff going on here. Ian has not posted his list, so I'd love to see that. That seems amazingly cool. I think Ian bubbled as well. Ice Rider with 10th place finish. I think the highest Ice Rider we've seen in all 4 regionals, which is awesome, because I think that deck has a lot of potential. A lot of Crobat VMAX is actually making their appearances in decks. But yeah, nothing crazy besides, there's like a vanilla Leafeon, looks like a 28th. But besides that, everything else seems pretty generic across the board. So let's look at some of the lists. We had Bruno's list here, the winning list. Let me turn off my webcam because you guys don't need to see my face. We had Bruno's list here, winning with, a very standard lineup of cards, Zig, the Ping, everything. One collapsed over the 3 path, an interesting addition. The Dunsparce to deal with fighting weakness. We had 2 research, 2 Marnie, as opposed to the 3 research, 1 Marnie that's traditional in lists. Raihan and Melanie giving options for both outs late in the game. 2 Charon's Care and a Palpad as well, giving you pretty good outs in the mirror. So a very solid, very consistent list. Nothing crazy about it. It's actually very simple to its core, as Bruno says here, but it gets the job done, and that's why the deck is very, very good. Then we have Mew VMAX getting second. This list is not crazy by any means either. It's got all your staple stuff. Just the lack of Echoing Horn is something that is to be noted, and 3 cram over the 4 cram, maybe less phones, something like that. But across the board, a very standard list. 2 Rose Tower and 2 Cemetery, just for numbers, I guess, math-wise, and then everything else is as expected in a Mew list. And the other top 4 Mew list, this one's a little more spicier. It's got a Judge, it's got Tower of Darkness. Now, the idea behind Tower of Darkness is that you're going to draw into the Tower of Darknesses, and as you do that, your hand will not clutter because you can go ahead and discard that stadium for a +2 at any given moment to continue to bump up your hand count. So that way you can exceed the 6 number, and yeah. And there's an Echoing Horn as well as a Tool Jammer. The Tool Jammer, I guess the idea is that you act as a second choice belt in some matchups. Obviously, I think the 30 image is more important, so I'm trying to rack my brain around what matchup that Tool Jammer would necessarily be better in. I can't think of one off the top of my head immediately, but I'm also exhausted right now. So if someone can think of a better thing, then you guys tell me. And we had Pedro's top 8 list for RCS Inteleon Bird Box. List is sideways. Let me see if I can. No, I can't. Okay, it's fine. But Pedro, I'm gonna give him the like right here. Nobody tell him I didn't. Had a very cool list here with the 2/2 Arceus, so a much thinner Arceus line with 2 Galarian Moltres as your package to kind of deal with Mew, kind of deal with a lot of things in the mid to late game, because you can deal that numbers that you need. 1 Galarian Moltres V to get that Energy Excel onto the board. Use the E switches that we have here. 1 Galarian Zapdos to do a ton of damage. A 1/1 Bibarel line, something that I'm a huge fan of, as you guys know from my list. 4 quick. Everything else is good across the board. The Raihan, the 2 Clara. It looks like 1 Marnie here. I think that's 1 Marnie, exactly. And there's 1 Water and 1 Fighting, in addition to 6 Dark, giving you the options for both Aqua Bullet as well as the Galarian Zapdos. And utilizing the Cape as well as the E-switches gives you the outs to potentially hit over certain numbers. Even if a path hits the board or your opponent sticks to 2 Pokemon, you can use that Zapdos more efficiently with the E-switch, which is a really good card. We had Dalton's deck, something that I'm looking forward to looking at. I have not seen this yet. And off the bat, I really, really like the 2/2 Bibarel. This is something that I wanted to work on or try in the upcoming future. Just a Bibarel line, an Arceus line, and then whatever X attacker in the back. 4 battle VIP passes, very, very, very interesting, giving you a very strong turn 1, potentially grabbing double Bidoof, Dunsparce against Mew maybe, like something to kind of like wall against the Mew VMAX's rope attack on turn 1, guaranteeing that if you find any combination of your 12 ball cards or 4 Arceus Vs, turn 2 you're almost guaranteed a V-Star. With the way the deck is structured, and you can get an Arceus down turn 1 if you want to, double Bidoof turn 1, just to get the setup going. Path at the peak as well, and then a Pumpku to bump your own path, or bump another stadium that might be a little bit of a problem at some point. And Avery is interesting. I don't really know what that could necessarily be for. Maybe just to put your opponent in a bad spot, and then go ahead and rapid flow with the 1 double turbo. But besides that, it seems like a Gale Thrust version. I would have maybe expected a Cheryl or something in here, to be honest, just to have like that flexibility. But only 1 research and 3 Marnie. So the idea is a lot of disruption, hit, disrupt, set up your hand. A very, very cool list, something that I am a fan of. I think this is something that I'm going to be working on looking forward, like something that I want to see, maybe that has potential, maybe it doesn't. I don't know, this is a very cool concept, and Dalton's list is awesome. I like this a lot. This is probably my favorite list so far. And then we had the craziest deck to probably make top 8, Whimsicott VSTAR. And now Whimsicott was something that I was very high on when I first saw it with the Chaos Wheel attack. And how strong it could be, but no one has portrayed its like dominance since like day 1. With a thin Bibarel line, a heavy Whimsicott line, as well as a thin Arceus line, and the Evital that has the Rallying Cry, or whatever the attack is called, Celebrating Cry, make Mew players cry, I don't know what it's called. 4 Marnie, 4 Hammers, 2 Fan. The idea behind the deck is simple. Just go ahead and start Chaos Wheeling as quickly as possible, get everyone to discard their energies, stick a path in play, and you're golden. You don't do the most damage, obviously, with this deck, but at some point you're going to overpower your opponent. Your opponent's going to have a dead hand. You can pull off a crazy Evital turn somewhere, and then bada bing, bada boom, the game is over. Now, one card I am surprised not to see in this list is 1 copy of Sharon's Care, maybe, because you can just pick up the Arceus and just slam down the Evital instead and reuse that double turbo energy. But with 4 double turbo energy, maybe it's not necessary. Maybe it's just not one of those cards that's that great. I do like the double Raihan. I think it's very, very good to power up a Whimsicott out of nowhere, because the biggest way this deck loses is not being able to chain your Whimsicotts. Because after you establish the lock with the art, like get the early Arceus going, establish your lock, get a couple of Hammerheads, get a couple of Fans, get a path into play, you're relying on being able to go Whimsicott into Whimsicott. And while it doesn't necessarily always happen that way, and it looks like it was streamed on round 4 of day 2, which was round 13. So I think Azul Garcia Griego did a bunch of commentary on his channel, and I'll be watching some of the games on my stream this week as well, so we can watch them together, guys. And that is the top 8 list so far. Let's see if there's anything interesting else that we can look at here. I think that's all of them, actually. So yeah, I mean, I think this was an amazing tournament. A lot of cool decks that came out of it. All these bottom 3 lists have my intrigue. This is the one that has my most intrigue. Dalton's list is very, very cool. I think this is very, very, very cool. So, that being said, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. I'm sorry if I sound low energy. I literally just got home, like I said. And we will continue to make banger content, continue to have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys tomorrow for more videos.